know it, but they're going to keep doing it until the American people have had enough.
Right.
And kick and boot these people out and out of office.
Right.
And we have people in office who are unidentifiable and unvetted. We don't even know who they are.
Right, and these people are, people who are writing these bills too as well, and writing these frivolous lawsuits. That's totally unconstitutional too as well. I mean, where does it say in the Constitution where you can actually own the 3 broadcast networks? There's one. We have one guy. Okay, there's one. There's one. I call him. I'm not going to mention any names here, but there's one. You got Chris Matthews. Oh, here we go, Chris Matthews. So I says I'm going to say any names. Too bad. Got Chris Matthews being a pinhead, and now he's going on 3 different networks at the same time too as well now, being syndicated. How can he do that under broadcasting? I thought when you broadcast, you can only do 1 channel at one time, not 3 channels at the same time. This is called rewriting the law. Is that correct? Rewriting the law, so therefore we have no constitution. And
well, I think what you have to remember is that the people in charge, the majority of them who are involved in these New World Order agendas, the Agenda 21, the United Nations, all the other secret organizations who aren't so secret anymore, they don't care what you think. They tell you to your face on national television that the Constitution is meaningless.
Right.
They tell you to your face on national television that Congress is meaningless.
Yep.
They tell you what they're going to do, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Right.
One of the big concerns that the American people should have right now is that the federal government is taking over much property, lots and lots of land, and declaring it federal, and they have water reserves on it. So this is going to affect the farming in the future.
Right.
It's going to affect the farmers. It's going to affect
the culture too,
supply, and it's going to affect the
horticulture. The horticulture.
It's going to affect the cattle and all the animals and the environment. So this is really serious because who controls the food, the water, the oil, and the minerals controls the world.
Right, and don't forget too, they're not being regulated. They're supposed to be. And here's another thing too. They're cutting back our park rangers, our fighting forest fires rangers. They're being cut back too right now. This is why.
And what's happening is that we've had an increase of wildfires.
Yeah.
Since 2009 at 70% increase. And so what's happening is when the federal government is taking over all this land, the fire department can't get to that land, and it's off limits. And so they have to go through all this red tape. In the meantime, it's burning down. So if you remember, or maybe you don't know, but online there was a jihadist booklet and instructions on how to commit jihad using wildfires in the United States of America.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in 2005. I remember this, and this is the same time too. We had that wildfire that they had in California. This is in the early 2000s. Was it 2003? Yeah, it was in 2003. Remember the biggest fire they had in San Diego, California, and guess what? The mayor, was it the mayor or the governor? Either one of those pinheads said, "Oh, we cannot have that fire. We have to let that fire burn out on its own." And because it did that, we lost over 2,000? Yeah, 3,200 homes we have lost, and these were in the $1 million. This is when Suzanne Summers
had relative's home nearly burned down.
Right.
Homes around them burned down. They had to evacuate their home. It went
Yeah,
from
Malibu fire.
San
Yeah,
Diego
the big Malibu.
County
Yeah,
to Riverside County,
that's correct.
Corona to San Bernardino
Right.
to
Scripps
Orange
Ranch.
County to LA County. It jumped the freeways.
Yep.
How is that possible?
Yeah, exactly. And they couldn't stop it because they wanted to have it burn out naturally. They didn't want to use the water because the water that they had was they had to conserve it. Oh, they had to conserve the water. They had to conserve it. We need it for the cattle. We need it for the deer. We need it for the meat for the flowers. Or they need it for the also. They also said they need it for this this particular. A fish you guys have too down there, and they need the water, so they're
Do you
going to.
remember when Nancy Pelosi and all the rest of them stopped watering the farms in Northern California because of the fish and put all the farmers and
little
the
guppy
out of business?
The guppy, yeah, remember that it was a little guppy. Yeah, it was just a little guppy. We talked about that 2 years ago. Yes, we did. We actually talked.